Good morning. A little bit of a different background today. It is ashy and wet and cold outside in Southern California. So we took it inside today. Um, I just have my mat today, but if you want to grab a block or a strap or anything, we might be coming into some shoulder rinses. So if you know that you have tight shoulders or anything, go ahead, grab a strap, and then we'll get started. You can come onto your mat here. We're going to start off in child's pose. So if you know child's pose is a little bit uncomfortable for you, you can always bring a blanket underneath your knees or maybe a pillow or a blanket in between your thighs and your heels. And then you can take your big toes to touch and then gently extend your hands out. Maybe your head comes down to the mat or a block or even a pillow. You can make it a super comfy child's pose if you'd like. And then you can close your eyes. Maybe begin to become aware of your surroundings, any little noises. And then maybe take that observation inward. Take a little bit of a body scan here, starting from the tips of your toes, working your way all the way up to your fingertips. Taking note of just how you feel today. Maybe you want to take it easy. Maybe you want to push yourself a little bit more. Wherever you are, it's fine. Know this is your practice. You can decorate it however you wish. And if you want to come down into a child's pose or shavasana, you absolutely can. Once you've completed that body scan, go ahead and take a few breaths together. Try to channel it into your lower back. So maybe you inhale, the chest might lift up off the earth. And then ha out through your mouth. Come back down, maybe press a little bit harder through your palms here. Sit your hips back towards your heels. A few more rounds just like that. Big, deep inhales through your nose. And then exhale out through your mouth. Try to match those inhales and exhales together. So maybe you take a 4 count, inhaling for 4, and exhaling for 4. Take a few more of these on your own here. If 4 seconds is too long or too short, you can always lengthen it or shorten it. And then take one final round here. And when you've completed that round, you can go ahead, seal your lips, and continue to inhale and exhale out through your nose. Let's go ahead, walk our hands over to the left corner of our mat, stretching down our right side body. Pressing your left palm into the earth. If you need a deeper stretch, you can take this right hand on top of your left and press through your hands, sinking those hips back towards your heels. Allow your armpits to spin up and out, up towards the ceiling. Maybe your chest will reach a little bit closer to the earth. Next inhale, you'll come back through center. And then exhale, come over to that right side. Again, left hand can come on top of the right for a deeper stretch here. And we're sending our breath down our left side body. So inhale, deep inhale. Maybe the chest lifts, and then exhale, come back down. Eyes can be opened or closed. And we'll inhale, gently come back through center. Press your hips back. And then we'll inhale, shift forward, come onto our bellies here, lower all the way down. Heels of the hands slide back. And let's walk our legs out behind us. An inhale will take us to a low cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, we'll press you through a tabletop. And let's sit back on our heels here in hero's pose. Arms sweep up overhead. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands come to our lower back. Inhale, lift through your chest. Exhale, press your hips forward. Come back gently. Inhale, we'll bring you back through center. Exhale, we'll sit back, child's pose. Knees are together here. One more round as we inhale, glide forward, coming onto the belly. And then another inhale will take us up, low cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, lifts you up. Exhale, sits you back onto your heels here. Pause for a moment. And then your next inhale will lift you up, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands come to our low back. Inhale, lift through your chest. Exhale, press the hips forward. Maybe chin stays to chest, or you can drop your head back. It's your choice. We'll inhale, come back down. And we'll meet in this hero's pose here. So you can stay in hero's pose, or you can come on down to a easy pose or sukhasana here. Whatever feels best. And then we're going to take this into a quick neck stretch. So I'm going to take my right hand and slip it underneath my right sitting bone. If you don't like that, you can have your hand palm face up on the top of your thigh here. So we're going to take our left hand, bring it up and over to our right ear, and then gently bring our left ear to our left shoulder. Light pressure on our head. You don't need a lot to feel a nice deep stretch down your right side of your neck. Eyes can be open or closed. And if you want to release that pressure, bow your head towards your left knee. Take your hand to the back of your head and slightly put a little bit of pressure here. You'll feel a nice deep stretch down the back, right side of your neck now. Gently release, come back through center, release that right hand. Maybe jump onto your left or bring it to your left thigh. Right hand comes up and over to the left, right ear to right shoulder now. Again, very light pressure through that hand. If you want to release the pressure, you can, and then bow your head towards your right knee. Hand comes to the back of our head. Nice deep stretch down the back left side. And then we'll all gently release, come back through center. Let's take our hands out in front of us, give them a nice little shake. And then you can rotate your hands from side to side. Let's take them out wide. Palms are facing towards me, and then drop your hands down. Point your fingers towards the floor so you have a little Frankenstein. Maybe drop your wrists in line with your shoulders here, and then bring them up. And then come back down, and then bring them up. And then we'll bring our hands together, interlace all 10 fingers, and we're just going to take some little crazy eights with our wrists here. You can take this moment to set an intention for your practice today, maybe your weekend or your week, or maybe this upcoming month. I can't believe it's already almost November, but 2020 does feel like 5 years. And then we'll all come back through center. Let's kick our legs out and around, coming into a tabletop, whatever the best way for you is. And then bring your hands right underneath our shoulders, knees right underneath our hips. Go ahead, tap out the tops of your feet if you're in hero's pose. Get some blood flow back in. And then go ahead, take a cat-cow or any other organic movement that you'd like, flowing with your own breath. So an inhale will bring you to cow, and an exhale will bring you to cat. Making sure to get that full spinal movement in here, just not moving your head up and down, but taking a moment to really feel the whole pose throughout your body. Coming into cat, you can tuck your tailbone and tuck your chin towards your chest. Press your palms into the earth. coming into cow, allowing that belly to drop down. Tailbone is coming out now. Chest is reaching forward. And if you're moving at a different pace than me, that's totally fine. And then again, if you want to take any organic movement, you can. Shifting from side to side, looking back at the heels, maybe to the other side, taking some circles. Whatever it's going to be, whatever feels good today. And then we'll all come back through center, preparing for our first downward facing dog. Walk your hands one palm's length, tuck your toes, take a deep inhale breath, and then exhale, send your hips up and back, downward facing dog. You can go ahead, walk your dog out here. You can shift your hips from side to side. Shake your head yes, shake your head no. Wherever you are, reconnect with your breath. Shift your gaze in between your feet. Allow your spine to lengthen, and you can lift those heels up off the earth. Take a micro bend through your knees. Try to press that belly back towards your thighs, sending your hips up a little bit closer to the sky. Fingertips are spread wide, and you can take your hands out even as wide as your mat here if that feels better on your shoulders. Take one big breath here. So exhale wherever you're at. Take a full deep inhale through your nose. And then exhale out through your mouth. And then continue inhaling and exhaling out through your nose. When you're ready, you can step, walk, or hop to the top of your mat. And then we'll slowly roll all the way up to standing Tadasana. Arms are going to reach up overhead. And then exhale, hands come down by our side. Go ahead, take a few shoulder roll circles here. So an inhale, we'll bring those shoulders to the ears. Exhale, we'll pull them back and down. These can be big movements. You can get your arms involved, or if you want to stay down here, you can. Eyes can be opened or closed. And then let's switch directions. So inhale, shoulders to our ears. Exhale, rolling forward. Few more rounds. And then we'll all inhale, arms reach up, come back to the top of our mat. And then exhale, forward fold. Feet are hip width distance here. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, hands to shins. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step back, high or low plank, your choice. I'm going to lower all the way down this morning onto my belly. Inhale, lift up, low cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale will pull you back down. Inhale will lift you up. And an exhale will press you back, downward facing dog. Go ahead, take any more movement you need in your downward facing dog here today. And then when you're ready, we're going to take two more little sun A's here. So when you're ready, you can inhale, come high up onto your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, step, walk, or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll all the way up to standing. Arms reach up. Exhale, hands come to our low back. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, press your hips forward. Head can drop back or chin can tuck to chest. Inhale, we'll bring us back through center. Arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands. Step or hop back. Higher low plank. Lower into a chaturanga, to an upward facing dog, or into a cobra. It's your choice. You can always skip the vinyasas as well. And we'll all meet back in a downward facing dog. All right, last round here. Inhale, come high up onto your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, step, walk, or hop. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll all the way up to standing, arms reach up. Exhale, come right back down, forward fold, hinge from your hips, lead with your heart. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, plant your hands, step or hop back, higher low plank, chaturanga to up dog or cobra. And then press back, downward facing dog. Go ahead, take a few breaths here, take some movement. And if downward facing dog isn't doing it for you today, you can always come down into a tabletop. It's your choice. From our downward facing dog, let's take our feet out as wide as our mat in the back. Soften through your knees, and then let's walk our hands back to meet our feet at the back of our mat. Now, if you have a block and you like to have a block in your forward fold, go ahead and grab it now. You have an option here. You can stay in this forward fold. Maybe you come into a ragdoll, find a little bit of movement. I'm going to take this into a little bit of a twist, so if you want to, you can join in. If not, if you're not really feeling it, you don't have to. Left hand plants on the earth. I'm going to take a deep inhale, and then exhale, twist to the right. Right fingertips are reaching up. I have a deep bend through my left leg. When my right leg is straight, right fingertips reaching up. Inhale at the top. Exhale, come back down. Right hand plants, deep bend through your right knee. Left leg straightens. Left fingertips reach up to the sky. And then you can switch. And bringing that block underneath your hand is also great onto the floor. Atticus is howling at me in the background. He's just sitting in the dining room staring. Atticus is my dog, also, by the way. Just a few more rounds wherever you are. And then we'll all meet back in our forward fold, taking a moment here. You can roll the weight to the balls of your feet, sending your hips a little bit higher to the sky. Relax your head down. And then allow your spine to lengthen. Sending your breath down the back sides of your legs. And then when you're ready, let's walk our hands back out to our downward facing dog. Feet come back together. Inhale, come high up onto your toes. Exhale, bend your knees. Step, walk, or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, slowly roll all the way up to standing. Arms will reach up overhead. Exhale, hands come through heart center. Sink low into your chair. Feet are hip width distance. Weight is in our heels. And you can send your hips back. Tailbone tucked under and low belly pulled in. Inhale, lift through your chest. Exhale, sink low through your knees here and your hips. Breathe. Keep the chest lifted. Pull the shoulders down. Weight in the heels. When you're ready, we're going to shift our weight into our left foot here. We'll step our right foot back behind us. Take our hands down to the floor. Bring that right knee down to the floor. And then you can stagger your feet here. If you know you have sensitive knees, you can go ahead, bring a blanket underneath that back right knee, coming into our low lunge. So let's inhale, arms reach up overhead, really press through the earth, lift up out of your hips. Exhale, hands come back behind us, interlace all 10 fingers, pull those knuckles down towards the floor. Inhale, lift through your chest. Exhale, send the knuckles down towards the floor. And then this is where that strap can come in handy as well. If this doesn't feel good today, you can always cactus open your arms, lift your chest towards the sky, and then pull your shoulder blades back together behind you. Elbows are staying at that shoulder height. Wherever you are, breathe. Gaze maybe shifts towards the sky or right out in front of you. And then we'll all gently release. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands come down to frame this foot. Now we're going to spin this back right foot behind us to the left edge of our mat, like a little kickstand. Our left toes are still facing forward. And we're going to inhale, open up into this little modified warrior two. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears. Maybe take a slight bend in your arms here. Breathe. Inhale, arms reach up. And then exhale. This right hand is coming down towards the floor or to a block. Left fingertips can reach over. This knee is still bent here in the front. You don't have to extend it. And just really breathe down this left side body. Maybe shift your gaze towards the sky. So that blanket underneath your right knee can help. And then also a block underneath this right hand. So when you're ready, we're actually going to take this into a little arm sweep here. So let's turn our torso towards the ground. So I'm facing towards the back of my mat. My torso is becoming parallel with the earth. I'm going to sweep my left arm down, reach it across, deep bend through my right leg. And then inhale, we'll sweep my left arm back up. And then exhale, bring it down and around. Allow your leg to open up and move. And if you'd like, you can begin to extend it. So you might have to move your foot a little bit forward onto the mat to come into that full gate pose here on the extension. So inhale, lifts that arm up, extend. Exhale, pulls it down and around, bend the knee. Like you're strumming a huge guitar here. Switch directions. Inhale, we'll come up. Exhale, down and around, bend the knee. This can be big or small movement here. And if this is beginning to hurt your shoulder, you can just bring your hand to that hip and just get the hip movement in, allowing your left leg to straighten and bend. Just a few more rounds. And then we'll all come back through center. Draw your left knee in. So we lift up, coming back to that little modified warrior two here. Arms open up. Left arm to our left thigh. Reach those right fingertips over to the front of your mat. And then when you're ready, both hands come down to frame this front foot. Turn your back right toes behind you. So now they're pointing towards the end of your mat. Tuck your right toes, lift up, high runner's lunge. Step that foot in. So you have about a 2.5 foot stance here. And then we're just going to take this into a little bit of a hamstring stretch. So if you need to bring blocks on either side of your foot here to keep yourself a little bit lifted, you can, or you can come to a wall. So really drawing your left leg back here and rolling that right hip forward. Maybe you hinge forward a little bit more. Send your breath all the way down into your left heel. Gaze maybe shifts towards your shin or even to your back foot. The back foot is rooted onto the earth. If you want to shift back into a runner's lunge, you can, just to get a little bit more of a stretch through your right hip. And then maybe step that foot in, stretch it back into your little pyramid pose here. So you'll have to move the back foot off the mat to shift back and forth between the two. And then we're going to gently move into stork pose. So we want to draw our weight into our left foot here, come up onto the ball of our right. We begin to lift our torso up. Maybe hands come to heart center or to our hip. Begin to hover that right leg up off the earth. Bring the heel to the bum as you begin to lift, 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 lift. Knees still pulling in and up. Arms reach up towards the sky. Thighs parallel to the earth. Stork pose. Toes flex back towards your face on the right foot. And then gently release, coming to Tadasana. Squat low, chair pose. Inhale, lift through your chest. Exhale, sink through your hips. Inhale, reach those arms up towards the sky. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands. Take a vinyasa, or you can press back into a downward facing dog. It's your choice. All right. So from our downward facing dog again here, coming up to the top of our mat, so you can step, walk, or hop. Slowly roll all the way up to standing. Arms reach up. Exhale, chair pose again. Inhale, lift through your heart. Exhale, sink through your hips. Draw the shoulders back and down. Lift through your chest. Tuck your tailbone under. Feet are hip width distance here. Weight is in the heels. You can wiggle those toes here. And then when you're ready, draw the weight into your right foot. Come up onto the ball of your left. And let's step back behind us. Arms reach up. Exhale, they come down, framing this front right foot this time. Back left knee comes down towards the earth. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, hands come behind us. Knuckles can come together, or you can take it into that goalpost arms, cactus arm here for that little chest opener. So if you're back here with me, inhale, lift your shoulders to your ears. Exhale, roll them back and down your back. Reach the knuckles down towards the floor. Lift through your chest. And really try to pull the low belly in so you're not crunching in that low back. Press firmly through your left knee and your right foot. Gently release. We'll inhale, arms reach up. Then exhale, hands come down to frame this front foot here. Turn your back left toes out towards the right. So you have that little kickstand behind us again. So coming into that modified warrior two. Arms come open onto the horizon. Relax through your elbows here. Arms are relaxing down. And then we'll inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, left fingertips to the earth now. And right fingertips reach up and over. Nice deep side body stretch. This right knee is still bent here. And then when you're ready, taking it into that circle, our torso is going to square towards the earth. Right fingertips are reaching forward. Take an inhale here. Exhale, sweep the fingertips down across your mat. Knee is bent. Inhale, right arm lifts. Exhale, pulls it down and around. Maybe you walk your front right foot out a little bit so that it can extend completely when your right fingertips reach over to the back edge of your mat. And then exhale, they come back down and around. So moving at your own pace here. And if that does hurt your shoulder again, arms can come onto your hip and just take that hip opener movement. And when you're ready, you can switch directions. Mindful, slow movement. Noticing how this movement feels in your body. Might be a little bit different than normal. And then we'll all come back through center. Reach over, gate pose. Right fingertips are reaching to the back edge of your mat. And then we'll all come back through center. So let's draw our right foot in. Right heel is underneath the right knee. And we'll go ahead and lift up back to that warrior two. Arms open up, and then coming into that a little extended side angle, right forearm to right thigh, left fingertips reach forward. Draw the low belly in still. And we're not relying really on this thigh to hold us up. So our weight is light in our right fingertips, our right forearm here. And then we'll gently release. Bring our hands to frame this front foot. Turn your back left foot out behind you. Tuck your back left toes. Lift up into that high runner's lunge. If you want to step that foot in a bit, coming into your pyramid pose, bring your hands on a block on either side of your foot here if you'd like. And then really draw the right thigh bone back into the hip socket and roll the left hip forward, squaring your hips off towards the front of the earth. And if you wanted to take that little movement here, you'll just have to step your foot back a little bit. You can shift yourself forward. It's totally fine if that knee comes past your ankle. Take a few more rounds wherever you are. Maybe stay in pyramid pose just for a moment, sending your breath down into your right ankle and all the way up the back of your right leg. If you're in pyramid pose, your back left foot is rooted onto the earth. You can shift your gaze towards your right shin here if you'd like. And then when you're ready, maybe your chest lifts just a bit, coming up onto your fingertips. Begin to draw the weight into your right foot. Find your footing. Come up onto the ball of your left foot. Hands come to heart center when you're ready. Begin to hover the left. Bring the heel in close to your bum as you lift up, standing straight and tall, stork pose. Our left thigh is parallel to the earth. Knee is stacked right over our ankle and our toes are flexed back. Inhale, arms reach up overhead. And then exhale, gently release. Hands come through heart center. Sink low into your chair. Inhale, lift through your chest. Exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, step back. Take it into a vinyasa, or you can press back into a downward facing dog. It's your choice. We'll all meet in a downward facing dog. All right, here. So let's step our feet together at the back of our mat. Inhale our right leg high. Exhale, step it through in between our hands here. Spin your back heel down. Left toes are facing towards 11 o'clock. Inhale, root to rise, lift up. And then we're going to take our right arm under left, cross wrap and twist. So you can either take it here or you can grab opposite shoulders. It's your choice. So we're coming into this little warrior two variation. And then we're just going to find some diverse movement here. So shifting from side to side, maybe lifting those fingertips up, maybe hinging down. And just moving really slowly again with your own breath, noticing how the movement feels. And then again, moving slowly so you make sure nothing really hurts, since this might be a new movement for you. You can roll forward, down, come back. And then we'll all come back through center. Unwind the arms here, come back, warrior two. Heel toe this front foot towards your midline. So it's right down the center of your mat. Shift your toes in just a bit, and then draw the right hip back, left hip rolls forward. Warrior one, arms reach up. Take those hands behind you back into your shoulder rinse. So grab your strap or whatever else you need. Inhale, shoulders to your ears. Exhale, rolling back and down your back. Inhale, lift through your chest. Exhale, hinge forward, humble warrior. If this doesn't feel good, you can take your hands to the top left corner of your mat and just stretch through your hips here. Wherever you are, if you are in that shoulder rinse, you can go ahead, release your hands, take them to the top left corner. Feel a nice deep stretch down your right inner thigh here. And then when you're ready, we're going to shift our hands onto the outer left edge of our mat. All 10 toes turn to face towards the left, and we're going to hinge towards the right. So coming on to the ball of our right foot, can shift forward, left toes can lift up off the mat. And then if you'd like, you can shift from side to side, keeping your hands on the floor. If this is too big of a stretch, you can keep those legs straight and just shift from side to side. So it's your choice. And if your legs are feeling good, you can pause maybe on that right side. Lift your chest a little bit. Flex those left toes back towards your face. And then when you're ready, we're going to spin forward again into a high runner's lunge. So all 10 toes are facing forward. Lift your heart, shift your hips forward. Maybe fingertips stay on the earth. And then come back down. So we're in this high runner's lunge here. Begin to shift your weight into your right foot now. So again, same thing, stork pose, slow with control. From our stork, we're going to come into a tree pose. So really root down through this right foot. Begin to shift your weight forward. Maybe you hug the left knee in first. When you're ready, begin to hinge up. Woo! Stork pose. And then open that left knee out towards the left side of the room. You can stay here, bring your right hand to your hip, or maybe you pull that leg in, tree pose. If it's not really super high up on the thigh, skip the knee and just come down to the ankle or calf. Hands can come through heart center. Or you can lift your fingertips towards the sky. Or maybe open your hands up onto the horizon. Soften through your shoulders, maybe your elbows. Shift your gaze up towards the ceiling. And try to really hug your right hip in. And press your thigh into your foot as much as your foot is pressing into your thigh. Really root down through the ball of your right foot and rise up out of your hips. Lift the crown of your head towards the ceiling and breathe. Well, inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, release this foot. Very gently, slow with control, come back down to Tadasana. Shift your weight to the left, and then you can shake out this right foot. If you want to shake out your hands, you can. And then we'll all come back to the top of our mat. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, hands to shin. Exhale, forward fold. Step or hop back, take a vinyasa. This will be our last one. Or you can press back into a downward facing dog with me. It's your choice. When we've all reached our downward facing dog, let's go ahead, inhale, lift this left leg high. Exhale, step it through in between our hands. Spin that back right heel down, toes are facing towards 2 o'clock. Inhale, lift up, warrior two. This time, left arm under right, cross, wrap, and twist. Or you can grab opposite shoulders. I'm going to grab opposite shoulders because I keep smashing my mic here. So again, finding that little bit of movement, shifting from side to side, maybe forward, maybe back. You can lift those fingertips up towards the sky. Come all the way down, maybe take a big circle. But again, moving slowly so you don't injure yourself and you really note how the movement feels in your body. If it feels good, if it doesn't, if you want to stay still, if you want to explore more. Keep bending through that front left knee. Just a few more rounds of breath here. And we'll all release. Coming back to warrior two. Heel toe your front left foot to midline, so down the corner of your mat. Turn those back toes in slightly. Lift up, warrior one. Breathe here. Front thigh working parallel to the earth. Drop your hands back behind you. Inhale, shoulders to right ears. Exhale, pull those knuckles down towards the floor. Lift through your chest. Inhale, breathe and lift. Exhale, hinge forward, humble warrior. Pull your left thigh in towards that midline that you created with your foot. And then if you like to release or stay in that humble warrior, you can. If it doesn't feel good, you can walk your hands over to the right corner, getting a nice deep stretch down your left thigh still. If you're in that humble warrior, gently release your hands, bring them to the right corner of our mat. And then we're going to gently shift our hands over to the right outer edge of our mat. All 10 toes shift towards the right edge. And then sink those hips back towards this left knee. So your right toes are lifting up off the earth. You can stay here, or again, finding that shifting motion. If this is too deep, again, you can come into your prasarita, shift from side to side. You can even bring those hands on the knees here or on the thighs. Maybe if you're feeling up to it, hands come through heart center. Shift from side to side, using that core strength and that leg strength. Without your hands on the floor, keeping that chest lifted is a whole another beast. Take your time, move slow with control. If you want to sit towards one side, you can. Two more rounds of breath wherever you are. So if you want to stay still, you can, or take a little bit more movement. And then we'll all come back through center. We're going to shift on our heels. All 10 toes are facing forward. High runner's lunge. You can lift your come onto your fingertips. Shift your heart forward. Shift your hips forward. And then come back through center. Walk that back foot in just a bit. And then again, we're coming into that stork pose to tree. So really root down and get that left foot connected. If you want to lift up all 5 toes, spread them wide. Press your left foot firmly into the earth. Begin to draw your weight into that left foot. Maybe you begin to hug that right heel into your butt. And when you're ready, we'll all lift up with control. Press and root down through your left foot. Right thigh is parallel to the earth. Open your right thigh up towards the right side of your room. Option to stay here, bring your left hand to your hip, or you can bring that right foot to your left inner thigh, your left calf, or your left ankle. Sitting up nice and tall, draw this left hip in towards your midline and root down through this left standing leg. When you're ready, you can bring the hands into the picture. Maybe hands at heart center. Maybe you grow tall. You can shift your branches from side to side. You can take your arms out onto the horizon. Maybe you just reach up towards the sky, shift your gaze towards the ceiling. A little bit of a balance challenge. Really press your right foot into your left thigh, and then press your left thigh into your right foot as much as that foot is pressing in. Again, hugging everything to that center point on your mat. Press firmly, again, root down through your left foot, lift up out of your hips, maybe grow a little bit taller through the crown of your head. Stay connected and breathe. If you fall out, that's okay. And then we'll all gently bring our hands through heart center. Pause. And then gently release this right foot. Slow with control. Gently bring it down towards the earth. Go ahead. Shake out that left foot here. You can shake out your hands. Shake out your feet. And then if you'd like, you can take one last vinyasa, or you can just meet me in a downward facing dog. It's your choice. I'm just gonna step back into my downward facing dog here. Take any more little bit of movement that you need in your down dog. And then when you're ready, we're all gonna come on down to our knees. Make your way onto your belly here. You can stack your hands at the top of your mat. Bring your forehead to the backs of your hands. You can shift from side to side. And then making our way into a little bit of a shoulder opener. I'm going to take my arms wide like a T here, so I'll spin around. So arms are wide like a T. I'm going to draw this left hand in towards my face. Begin to roll over onto my right shoulder, so it's opening up, and you can gauge the intensity. So I'm going to keep my right leg extended. Left leg is coming over the top and behind my right leg. Now, you don't have to take it into this deep of a shoulder opener. You can relax this leg out still on the side here and just press firmly through your left hand if that's enough of a stretch. But if you need more of that stretch, full body opening, you can take that left foot behind your right leg. So wherever you are, breathe. Know the difference between pain and stretching. So if it doesn't feel good, release a little bit. Reduce the intensity of the stretch. If you don't like your head up towards the sky, kind of hovering in space, you can always bring that that head down to the mat or a block or even a pillow. And then we'll gently release. Switch sides. Left hand comes out long. Bring that right hand right in front of your face. Roll onto the left side. Maybe your right leg comes behind your left here. And that forehead or the head can come down to the floor or block. And then again, if it's too intense, back out of it just a little bit. And we'll all gently release, coming back down to our bellies. Let's pick one leg up and then the other, stretch them out long. Coming into our locust pose, hands can reach back behind you or reach in front of you. You can even take a shoulder rinse if you'd like. When you're ready, forehead comes down to the mat. Next inhale, we'll all lift up, go up, reach up like a little airplane taking off. Really using those back muscles to strengthen and lift. Toes are reaching, fingers are reaching. Gaze is straight down at the floor, maybe a few inches above your mat. You don't have to crank your head back. Breathe. Maybe lift a little bit higher. And gently release. Stack your hands at the top of your mat. Bring your hands or your forehead to your hands. You can rock your head from side to side. And then we'll all gently shift up and make our way into a little camel. You don't have to go into a full camel today. You can gently just put your hands onto that low back. So we're going to come up to the top of our mat. Knees are hip width distance here, so 2 fists. Bring them right in between your knees. Let's stick our hands in some pockets here. So fingertips are facing down. Inhale, shoulders to our ears. Exhale, roll them back and down your back. Squeeze the shoulder blades and elbows together. Press to your knees. Lift your chest up towards the sky. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, begin to press your hips forward so they're in line with your knees. And then we'll gently come back. Maybe your head drops back. And we still want to lift through our chest, like there's a little string pulling us up. So we're still lengthening through our spine and through our back bend. Now you can stay here with your hands on your back, or maybe you reach back for one ankle, maybe the other. And then really lift your chest up towards the sky. Press your hips forward. When you're ready to come back up, release one hand from one heel, bring it to your back, and then the other. Tuck your chin to your chest, and we'll all slowly make our way back down to our hero's pose. You can take a moment, maybe shift your head from side to side, maybe front and back. And then we'll gently release, making our way into a pigeon pose. So if you want to take that into a downward facing dog, you can. Right knee comes to our right wrist. Right ankle to left wrist. Scoot this left leg out back behind you. If you feel like this hip is lifting up off the earth, go ahead, bring a block or anything underneath that. And then take it slow and come on down if that feels okay today. Come on down to your forearms. Bring a block underneath those forearms. Whatever's going to feel good. Relaxing and releasing down. Unclench your jaw. Maybe soften your gaze. If you want to work on any other poses right now, you can. Maybe mermaid, maybe flipping your grip in king pigeon, maybe splits if you're working on it. If you feel like your mind is wandering, maybe it needs to wander today. You can let things be and appreciate the moment. Next inhale, we'll gently all come back up through our pigeon pose. Tuck your left toes, and you can send this right leg back up to the sky. Go ahead, shake it out. And then pigeon on our left side. Left knee to our left wrist, left ankle to our right wrist. That shin doesn't have to be completely parallel here if it really hurts your knee. You can take a block underneath your left hip here, and then gently come on down to your forearms or stay lifted. Maybe you bring a pillow underneath your chest and forearms, maybe some blocks. And breathe into any tension points in that left side. Allowing the mind to wander if you need to. Taking this into mermaid or king pigeon. And then on our next inhale, we'll gently lift up, tuck our back right toes, shoot this left leg up towards the sky, give it a nice shake, and then gently come on back down to the mat. We'll flip over, coming onto our back. Rolling slowly down, maybe you pull those knees into your chest. You could begin to rock from side to side. If you want to take this into any other pose right now, this is yogi's choice. So you can take it into a shoulder stand, bridge, a twist, whatever you are craving right now. I'm going to take this into a little bit of a happy baby, maybe legs up the wall. In your happy baby, you can grab for the outer edges of your feet, ankles, thighs, whatever's available. Just relax your head down, your shoulders down to the mat. If you are taking a shoulder stand, really try to roll your shoulders underneath. So those outer shoulder heads, roll them under and lift up, keeping your hands on your low back. You want to keep the curve in your cervical spine, so the curve in your neck. This isn't a neck stand, it's a shoulder stand. Take your gaze straight up to the sky. If you're in happy baby, maybe you bring your feet together. Shift your hips from side to side. If you're in a twist, make sure you switch sides. And whenever you feel comfortable and balanced, begin to make your way into Shavasana. And if you need to take any little more final movement, you can. Take your time. So this Shavasana is your own. I like to take my feet out as wide as my mat, knock my knees together on the inside. You can be a big star pose, hands come up over your head. You can take up as much space on your mat as you would like. We are really working on, taking up as little space as we possibly can in our life most of the time. So our mat is a good place to explore taking up as much space as we can. Release any tension in your low back as you relax down, allowing your mat and the surface beneath you to support you. Release the tension in your jaw and in your face. Soften through your neck, arms. Allow your fingertips to gently curl in. Soften through your legs and maybe allow the feet to fall from side to side. Release any breath work you were holding on to. And you can stay here as little or as long as you'd like. I encourage you to stay in Shavasana as long as you can. But if you're ready to get up, you can gently maybe rock your hips and knees from side to side, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Slowly begin to wake up. And when you feel ready, gently roll onto your favorite side, cradling your head in your arm. And then we'll gently press ourselves up to a seated position, sitting up nice and tall. Easy pose or Sukhasana. Bring those shoulders right back over your hips here. Release the tension in your jaw, soften through your face. Let's go ahead, inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands come through heart center. You can gaze down at your fingertips here. Thank you all so much for flowing with me today. It's always an honor, and I will see you next time. Everybody have a wonderful and safe Halloween weekend. And also remember that your vote counts. So if you haven't already, get out there, vote. Elections right around the corner if you are in the US. I'm sure you all know. But anyway, I wish you guys a happy and safe holiday weekend, and I will see you next Friday. Namaste. I'll see you later, guys.